Thanks for staying with us. Mariam, would like to start with The Nation with us?
Yes. The major headlines on The Nation. More cash for states. Ekiti ex-governors Aiyedatiwa endorse Tinubu Oyebanji. And then we have more cash for states from new VAT distribution plan. DSS-backed forces, soldiers kill 45 terrorists. Bandits slay 38 in Zamfara. And President gives Falcons cash, houses, National Award of OON. And yes, that's what we have. Should I go ahead and take...
Yes, should we take the major headlines across? No, go ahead. Take your stories.
So I took the President gives Falcons cash, houses, National Award. The President bestowed national honors, generous cash rewards, and brand new homes upon the triumphant Super Falcons celebrating their remarkable conquest on the continental stage. They defeated the host team 3-2, coming from a 0-2 down. And our President conferred upon each player and member of the coaching staff the prestigious national honor of Officer of the Order of the Niger, marking a proud and memorable chapter in the nation's sporting legacy. They also got 3-bedroom apartments each at the Renewed Hope Initiative Housing Estate, an equivalent of $100,000 for the 24 players and $50,000 equivalent for the 11 officials. My goodness, that is so big. First of all, I hadn't watched the match. I didn't even know that they had won. I didn't even know that there was a match. The only thing I heard was that money was being just given. People were just receiving money. Houses were just happening. I'm like, what is happening? And that's when I caught up with the news. So obviously we're excited that, you know, especially from a 2-0 down. And it reminded me of one other, I think it was the Olympics we had a long time ago when we were kids, and Nigeria was playing Argentina, and we came from nowhere and we won it. So I can imagine that excitement. And I mean, I think quite generous gifts for this.
$100,000, that's like 150-something million per person. The 3-bedroom flat, that's huge. I mean,
you can go ahead and retire.
I can't remember. I can't remember any president has done something like this.
This is 10. Like they've won 10 championships.
This
was they are meeting a milestone they set as a goal, and they wanted to get it to X. They wanted to win 10 of this particular championship.
Not the same players,
yes, different players, but they've won 10. And so they had this campaign thing, and the president, our president is very generous, and people already know he rewards. And I didn't expect this much, but I knew that he was going to do. So I knew it wasn't going to be presidential handshake. I knew that, and they cannot complain that he did not get anything.
Yeah, the officials too, and even those who are
the officials,
even the ones who are
they were giving $50,000. Each of the officials, all members of members.
It was good that they gave the officials, because we don't want to hear when they give players and the officials go behind their backs and take. So now they're sorted as well.
Let's take Daily Sun. Nima, what's the major headline first?
AMPP bloc, that's a group of the AMPP in the APC are threatening to quit the alleged marginalization of members. Ohaneze rejects bill elevating Oni Sultan above other monarchs, describes such as discriminatory, harmful to national unity. The president, of course, picture story shows Super Falcons with cash gifts and national honors. Attacks on journalists growing under APC, the MRA. First Bank crowns Nigeria's best bank for ESG at 2025 Euromoney Awards. Obi tackles Tinubu on failed campaign promises, wrong statistics. Says President feeding Nigerians with misleading, distorted statistics. I would like to say in counter that we are developing AI, climate tech to revolutionize food production. That's the Vice President. I wanted to take the story of the MRA. Just a minute. I already took a picture of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, while are you done with Sun?
Yes. Let me just quickly take the story. So, the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, announced that Nigeria is embracing AI and other advanced technology as part of retooling strategy to transform food systems. He said this signals a decisive shift in the country's approach to food security at a time when climate shocks, conflicts, and market disruptions are deepening global hunger. He was speaking on Monday at the opening session of the United Nations Food Systems Summit Stocktake UNFSS+4 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. You know, when we hear all these things, you'll be wondering where we deploy these things. Because as farmers, we can't approach our farm.
Yeah.
You know, I have farms, and I'm wondering what do we want to do? Right. These are very, very arable places that, you know, I could have been farming, but I can't access them right now.
All right, let me take, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready with Nigerian.
Major headline.
Yes, major headline, INEC chairman agitation for Yakub's successor swells. So the North Central should get a slot according to the MBF. Others, the Southeast, South deserve position, says Ubani, that's the ex-NBA VP. President's power to appoint chairman, major Nigeria's paradox, that's from former Ohaneze spokesperson. All INEC needs is a man with integrity, that's from Professor Adeniyi. There's a lot of agitation for who will take over from the INEC chairman. In other news, Ekiti stands still as political heavyweights endorse Tinubu Oyebanji for second term. Police arrest housewife for faking her own kidnap. Of course, we're taking the story of the president's rewarding falcons with $100,000 each, national honors and houses. Right. Millipedes, that's a good story, may be source of new drug for treatment of human pain. And First Bank attains the top spot. So.
Okay, let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll take a story from...
That's interesting.
From the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing, is it Tribune you have? Go ahead.
So I have the story about the current INEC chairman, the agitation for his position, because he's already served 2 terms, 8 years. There are people clamoring for that position, that he should come to North Central. They should be the one getting the slot. That's from the Middle Belt Forum. Then they also mentioned the fact that they said that they need a break from who is the next INEC chairman, that considering how many people have occupied that position, it is time for the Middle Belt Forum to get it. That Nigeria needs someone who cannot be compromised by money, pressure, and any kind of incentive, that someone who will stand for electoral law and not play games. When it comes to, they say their zone is the right option for now, that the president is from the Southwest, vice president from the Northeast, and former office holder from the North, vice president is from the Northeast, former office holder Northeast, and so it is time for someone from the North Central to bring balance. And let's point out, a Christian for change, not to serve religious interests, but to balance the equation. Somebody, they were also speaking about how they feel like looking at the office, the history of the office, it comes with worry for many Nigerian politicians. But the Southeast is also asking, they say Southeast and South-South deserve the position. That's from the ex-NBA chair. And then some people believe that based on the constitution, no matter who gets into that position, there might be a bit of partiality because it's been appointed by the president. So,
okay,
who will be our next INEC chairman?
Let me take Vanguard. So the major headline from Vanguard, Tinubu gives each Falcons player $100,000. We took that story already. Electricity, Ekiti, Ondo, Edo, others plan tariff review in line with Act. Over 130 security agents killed in ongoing Katsina anti-banditry war. Alausa unveils initiative to connect Nigerian experts at home and diaspora. Our resilience saved Nigeria varsity from total collapse under Buhari, says ASU. And 2027 coalition about Nigeria, not me, Obi, or El Rufai. Let me take the Alausa story. Really, something I've been passionate about for many years, because I've always said that the strength of our, the only way Nigeria can move forward is for us to harness the strength of our diaspora. So according to the federal government, they're starting, that's the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, said that they are putting together I think the scheme or so, still named Diaspora Bridge. It's an initiative, actually. It's an initiative, a transformative national policy designed to reconnect Nigeria's Nigerians professionals abroad to those of us in Nigeria. According to him specifically, I want you to understand the idea of this behind the initiative. He said that for too long, the collaboration between Nigerian-based professionals and their brothers and sisters in diaspora has been fragmented by distance, bureaucracy, and most crucially, deficit of trust. Today, through Bridge, which is the initiative, they are laying the foundation to repair that trust and intentionally bring a transparent and inclusive direction towards it. This program recognizes a simple truth that Nigeria's greatest asset, it is people, those home and abroad. And what we lacked as a system to harness their passion and expertise in structured, dignified, sustainable manner will be brought back home. So really, this bridge initiative that the federal government is put together, hopefully will be able to help us harness that strength. Because, as I said, I'm not against you jackpying, but jackpot purposefully such that when you learn the skills and the exposure, you bring it back home to help develop, which just like India did.
Okay.
So
I saw something on social media. What's his name was trying to talk about it. I think now makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is they are trained and they have all these qualifications and they need to find a way to impact it, you know, on
exactly. We have to create an enabling environment for them. So I think it's really important. I'm really happy that the federal government is putting together this initiative to harness that. Any other story in
Yes,
Nation?
I do. I have this story. DSS-led hybrid squad kills 45 terrorists. So troops of the Nigerian army and hybrid forces supported by DSS killed no fewer than 45 terrorists last weekend in Iburu village, rural local government area. They said that security forces intercepted credible intelligence suggesting that a large number of bandits on motorcycles were advancing towards Iburu and neighboring communities to launch deadly attacks. Now, the DSS relayed this information to the troops that were stationed nearby, prompting military response. A fierce gun battle followed the encounter, and what we have, heavy casualties among the terrorist rank. Villagers said they counted at least 40 dead bodies believed to be those of the bandits. They also said that several of the terrorist motorcycles were destroyed during the confrontation. But of course, you know, in spite of the success, two casualties on the side of the military and the hybrid forces, that's the local fighters that were collaborating with the military, happened. Right. And they said 4 others sustained serious injuries. And they said that they were able to achieve this successful feat because of intelligence-led operations. And this has been something that they have been using going forward. This is one of the many successes that they have received as a result. But they also talk about this residents of Banga village in Kauranamoda local government in Zamfara. They said that 38 kidnapped villagers by bandits. After paying 50 million ransom for them, they released 18 of them, and then the rest were killed. Those that were released relayed the news that the rest were slaughtered. Hate to use that word, but you know, that was how it was described. The other 18 have been taken to hospital, and the chairman of the area is saying, you know, as usual, needs the federal and state government to see how they can just stop this.
Honestly, I want to take the millipede story. You know, when we talk about you need to have enough peace of mind and money for you to start studying a millipede. So somebody from the Virginia Tech said his colleague gathered millipedes and discovered that the secretion that the millipedes made when they are trying to defend and ward off attack does 2 things. It informs their fellow millipedes of their location, and it also, when it interacts with human body, that it supports our neuroreceptors to fight pain. So the human neuroreceptors, that is connected to pain, when interacting with this millipede's secretion, kills the pain receptor. So if it can be a very useful pain-relieving medication if they are able to, which they are processing, to extract that substance that comes from, they said it's an alkaloid. It occurs naturally in millipedes, but when it comes into the human contact, yes, it would help deal with pain. And so there's a new drug that will be loading because somebody had the time to study millipedes. And we have millipedes here, but do we have the time or the interest to study millipedes?
Let them not make them extinct by catching all of them. I have the media rights agenda story in the Sun. Media rights agenda released their midterm assessment report, which they titled "The Onslaught Intensifies," a midterm assessment report on media freedom under the Tinubu administration, and they indicted the administration. According to the communication officer, Adeniyi Adebayo, says 61 cases, which amounts to 43% of attacks on media freedom, civic expression, misuse of Cybercrime Prevention Act by law, were done against media operatives by the police, Nigerian police operatives. He says that they are to account for about 61 of such cases. Then the DSS has about 44.96% of these cases, amounting to 7 cases of their own attacks. So collectively, the 2 agencies, for nearly half of all the documented violations that they have, the 2 agencies are responsible for attacks on media operatives across the country. And the preface to this report, the executive director was saying, we are seeing threats to media freedom in Nigeria through the continued implementation of repressive laws such as the Cybercrime Act, which is frequently used to target, silence, or punish journalists, the enforcement of the politically motivated regulatory sanctions, arrest and detention or other forms of attacks on journalists, surveillance or intimidation of media practitioners, and censorship of government-controlled broadcasters, amongst other threats. And so this is what their report is saying. I don't know who can look into it on the side of government to ensure that there's a balance. So I would expect a reply.
I'll take the major headline in Vanguard, where 2027 coalition about Nigeria, not me, El-Rufai or Peter Obi, says Atiku. The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar said yesterday that the emerging opposition coalition is not centered on any individual or political gladiators, that he is not even about him, Peter Obi, Amechi or El-Rufai, but on rescuing Nigeria's democracy from what he described as the ruling party's creeping authoritarianism and manipulation of the electoral process. He stressed that the coalition's central goal is to protect the integrity of Nigeria's democracy, which he said is under threat from under the APC. This is not an anti-Tinubu project. It is a pro-Nigeria movement. Nigerians must be ultimate beneficiaries of this effort. So we'll see how that goes. I think that's all we can take. Do you have any very fascinating story, Nation? Okay, I think that's all.
I wish we were taking the VAT, because
VAT.
Yeah, with the new enforcement of VAT now, states will start to get higher from the federal allocation. I thought it was
January they're going to implement.
It's January. They are just doing the report that based on this, federal government will start to take 10%. State, local government will still take 35%, but the states will chunk off 55%. And we don't know who will go and hold.
It's actually a hot topic.
Very hot topic.
That we need to discover and dissect. I think that's all we can take on the front page review. When we come back, on to our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.